Hey Survivors, Makeshift here with a big announcement. Our Patch of the Month Club, which is coming up on 2 years strong, has been so loved by our supporters that we've been able to lower the minimum eligibility to our $8 tier on Patreon. Members of the Patch of the Month Club get an original, sometimes exclusive, post-apocalyptic or cyberpunk patch designed by the Wastelander and Neotropolis communities, delivered straight to your hovel, barracks, or underground bunker. Like this month's Wastelander Faction patch, and the upcoming Goat Head's Belching Goat Tavern patch, and the dystopian The Future is Bright patch. Plus, you get to see just about everything we release on the Apocalypse Post early, right on our Patreon feed. All that, and you'll be supporting one of the Wasteland community's biggest outpouring of post-apocalyptic media. So consider joining today and help us keep the home fires burning. Sign up at patreon.com/theapocalypsepost.
What happened here? We did this ourselves.
They're coming. It can't be.
Where is everyone?
Hello, Survivors. Makeshift here with another episode of the Apocalypse Post. And I am once again joined by my co-host, Winks. Hello, Winks.
Hello. This is my show now.
You're slowly but surely taking over. Am I being scammed? Is this a scam bandit thing?
Could be.
Is this one of the games?
Only time will tell.
That you guys play? I guess we'll find out. You are, after this episode, top of the running for the Spam Biggest Guesticles Award, which is the wonderful wrestling belt he made. So
it would be my honor to accept that award.
Awesome. And he's actually going to be on the show next week. So, you know, you can tell him how much you are going to enjoy wearing his belt. Mm-hmm. But it's super cool. I think, I mean, I'm not making any promises, but if all goes well, you'll be the fourth person to wear it. And it's a long line of wonderful guests here on the
illustrious.
It might be a little too big for you, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, today we're going to talk about one of the subjects that I overlook quite a bit because I don't have one. Well, I didn't until last year, and I'm barely checking the box off for my Wastelander card, is Wasteland vehicles. Mm-hmm. And I know you're a fan because I have taken pictures and video of you hanging out the outside of a car. So you're a big Wasteland vehicle fan, aren't you?
Yes, driving around on the cars is one of my favorite parts of Wasteland. I love it. And I didn't do it until a couple years ago. And now you can mostly find me hanging off the side of the junker. So looking forward to doing that again.
And the junker belongs to who?
Suicide.
Awesome. And what
now
type
of the Farlanders.
Oh, that's right.
Brand new Farlander. Yep. Very exciting.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think my first Wasteland, I got put on the front of, oh my gosh, it's this guy, he goes by Saint Lucifer, and he had a Volkswagen Beetle that he had put a stunt chair on the front of it.
Fun.
So you could sit on the front of this bug. And he was like, do you want to bring your camera and we'll just tear it up for a little bit? And I was like, yeah, of course I do. So he straps me into this thing. I think I've told this story before, but it's worth telling again. And we do a slow tour around Wasteland City, which back then it was very sparse. And then he's like, do you want to go off-roading? And I was like, oh, okay, let's go get some shots.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it was a blast. Up until
sounds like a blast.
I had this thought. He knows what he's doing. As he goes from the main road to a side road into a dry, river culvert, and the structure of the front of the bug hits the dirt. My feet get grabbed from under me, get pulled under the structure of this chair thing. And then we bounce back up and my legs come back up. And I was like, I almost lost them both. That's how close it was.
That is how I feel every time I ride in the car cruise on the side. I'm like, one slip and I am going to be run over.
It's scary sometimes. It's
pretty scary. I'm glad we don't go too fast because I'd be a little too scared, I think.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, the speed limit for the car cruise, probably because of those early years, is now 5 miles per hour.
Yep.
So you could literally
super safe.
walk off of them while you're going. But yeah, Wasteland's been famous for having the largest collection of Mad Max vehicles in the world. Did you know that, Winks?
I'm not surprised. I didn't know that as a fact, but that makes perfect sense to me.
I don't know if it's a fact. It's tagged.
Okay, we're just making things up now. All right.
Yeah, we're pretty much
This
just
isn't the
calling it
Scam
what we
Bandit
want.
episode.
Well, sometimes you just got to go with what the marketing is, and because I haven't looked into this.
You heard it here first, folks. Sometimes lying is good.
Sometimes we just go with it. But yeah, so I had someone reach out after our episode with the Farlanders that we put out just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
and
last week.
It was last week. Well, as of recording.
Yes. True.
By the time this comes out, it'll be 2 weeks. I don't know. Who does the math? Not me.
Time's not important or real. Anyway.
Not even a little bit. But yeah, so it turns out it's Shepurd of Atomic Annie fame.
Woo!
He's been on the show before. And he wanted to talk about like how to make your Wasteland weekend ride, like your bug out vehicle, your Mad Max survivor car. How do you make that a little bit better than basic? Just like we did with the costumes before, we're going to do it with the vehicles today. What do you think?
Yeah. A little different barrier to entry for sure, but no less important.
Yeah. That's a good point. There's a reason I don't have a big car.
Fair.
And probably the same reason for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, my reason is I'm on the East Coast, and that would be crazy of me.
Yeah. And the fact is, like, costumes are required, cars aren't. And you can always hitch a ride in one of these vehicles, which is great. But let's bring Travis on.
Uh-oh. So I don't know if he'd agree with you.
Well, let's find out. All right. Well, hi, Travis. Welcome back to the Apocalypse Post.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. Wastelanders all. Shepurd. I built and ride Atomic Annie. And yes, I do disagree with you. Depending on the people, vehicles so much are required. Well, I mean, when you get down to it, Mad Max, I mean, they're freaking car chase, they're car movies.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
That's, and I'm by no means dissing on anybody's costuming. That's awesome. Everybody has different aspects of why they come to the event. And although I loved, when they had the idea of it, or heard about it, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Been a Mad Max fan since I was a kid. And I'm wait a minute, if I'm going to go, I need a rig. And that was entirely the motivation for building Atomic Annie.
Nice. And you guys can go back into the archive of Apocalypse Post. We have a video where Travis was part of the Apocalypse Post takeover and did a full tour of Atomic Annie. And we also had him on to talk about how Atomic Annie runs on recycled diesel. And he explained the entire process for that. So you can go back and check out some old stuff and get the full tour if you want to see what it looks like. And I got to say, it looks freaking amazing. Like, so much detail put into this thing.
Thank you.
Which is why.
Incredible.
Go ahead.
Kind of why we're here.
Yeah. You're the perfect guy to kind of tell us how to take these cars up to the next level. And I know that part of what you did with Annie was you made it practical in the real world and made it look like it's straight out of a movie with just every little bit of all the extra things you could put in there.
Definitely. And that's I'm there. Kind of getting into a little bit is you have two different aspects of vehicle builds for Wasteland. Is you've got ones that build practical, usable, whether they're for road trips, for daily drivers, and then you have ones that are built specifically for the event. They get brought out just for the event, basically. Often trailers, and I'm not knocking. Don't get me wrong. Well, no. Everybody has their interest, and if that brings them joy and enhances everybody's game, that's the point.
Right.
Totally. Although it is very impressive when people make rigs that they can drive to the event. Yeah. I'm always extremely impressed. I feel like that's a whole like additional skill set of like making your Mad Max vehicle street legal.
100% agree. And that's totally me, a personal thing. I mean, when I bring Atomic Annie out, it's a 2,400 mile round trip for me from central Wyoming.
Right.
And I know don't get me wrong, I know there's folks that travel a lot farther. But I think since the build right now, I'm sitting at about 21,000 miles on Annie altogether.
Wow.
So she gets plenty of road time.
As Annie, so that's even after the original vehicle.
Yeah,
that it was made
none
of.
of the gauges in Annie anymore are the original. So I don't even know how many miles the original vehicle had.
Wow.
But since I built
that's pretty wild.
It gets plenty of use.
And is it primarily coming to and from Wasteland, or do you take it to other places as well?
I'd say probably. Well, I've been out to Wasteland with it 4 years now, or 4 different times now. So that's about half the mileage.
Okay.
Actually, we just got back from here about a month ago, about a 1,000-mile round trip out to the far side of South Dakota and back with it, visiting family. So.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
All right. So for those that don't know what Atomic Annie is, will you kind of just give us a quick overview of the different pieces that make up Annie and why it's kind of a perfect bug out Mad Max end of the world vehicle?
Yeah. So Atomic Annie started as a 1972 Ford F600. It was an old grain truck out at my stepmom's field. And she was like, you get that out of my field, you can have it. Done.
Easy.
So, yeah. Not so much. It hadn't moved in 20 years.
Fair. Yeah.
So there
20
was,
years.
There was, yeah. Hell, I think it was sitting in about 6 inches of dust and dirt just to get it out of the ruts that it was stuck in.
Yeah.
But then dropped off the bed off of that, made a new flatbed, took the cab section of a 51 Chrysler New Yorker, flipped it around for suicide doors, and then put a pickup bed camper up on the back of it.
Very cool.
Swapped in a built 460 gas motor and drove it out to Wasteland in 17 was my first year. And at that point...
Mine too.
Nice. Good year. Except for the wind and, RV fires.
The
there was a
fire
lot going
was
on
a
that
bummer.
year. Yeah, that was the first year at Wasteland Weekend's new site. So,
Yes.
So yeah, neither of you have ever been to H Park, which is unfortunate because it had its own special charm. But I got to say, Wasteland Valley is a very special place.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And then...
And I've been inside Annie, if I remember right. What's it fit? Like 6 people in the main cab now?
Yep. There's 2 people in the truck cab, 4 in the car cab. And I widened the car cab. So there's a center aisle that goes all the way from the front, all the way back into the camper.
Very cool.
Camper sleeps 3, possibly 2 couples because the table becomes a small bed, but that's... that'd be tight
really
for a
cool.
couple. And then a
I
couple.
don't think I realized there was a camper in it. That's so cool.
A couple of the seats in the car cab fold all the way back flat. So you, in theory, could sleep 6 people, but it'd be kind of tight.
Crowded.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more intimate than you want to be with those 6 people.
Yeah. Temporarily only. I get it.
Definitely.
And I know that you like to spend a lot of your Wasteland just kind of like driving around, giving people rides, right?
Oh yeah. Since they started last 2 times I've been out, I think 22 and 24, throw a sign up on the front that either has a taxi, and then when they started with Mojave Express, love giving rides when I can, and I don't know. I've had plenty of people that are like, man, that was the best thing for my, that made my Wasteland. And it's like, that's awesome. If that little thing that I can do can make that person's Wasteland, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's a great reminder to newbies is like, don't be afraid to ask for rides. A lot of the time, people with cars out there are thrilled to give you a ride. I know, like, I didn't ride on a car for my first, like, 6 years because I was too shy to ask. And it really does, like, make your year. Sometimes it's really, really fun.
Yeah, back in the years when I was running the video crew, when I'm carrying my camera around and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to have to run to the other side of this event right now. But here's a car going my way. Literally stick out my thumb, and people started stopping. And I was just like, this is awesome. Just jump in the front real quick. Have a quick, like, awesome conversation with the driver or whoever else happened to be in there. And then, you know, they're usually happy to bring you where you're going, which is awesome.
Yep.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. If for any of the new folks, stick a thumb out, or if I'm driving by, I'll holler out, "Hey, you need a ride?" And there's been a few times people will like, "Oh God, no!" You know, get all scared or something. And it's like, no, sorry, I just, you know, if you're walking, I know walking back and forth and back and forth can make a hell of a long day. So it's like, if I can give somebody a ride, hell yeah.
Nice. And is that where the name Shepurd comes from?
Partially. Rocket and Bop It dubbed me Shepurd for out of the Great 40 for kind of always helping make sure everybody in the camp was taken care of, or a few people broke down and had to, you know, gave them a hand getting stuff fixed or towed out of the sand. And then the last year, because it was 21 that they did that. In 21, I also gave a lift to a couple ladies that were out of a Black Sheep tribe out to the event. So I was also, you know, shepherding the Black Sheep out to the event. So
awesome.
That's awesome.
It's a very fitting name for you.
Thank you. I when they told me that, I'm like, you know, almost tearing up and
they're really good people too. They come out of Albuquerque. I got to spend some time there when I was spending more time in Albuquerque. Yeah. So what like originally brought you into post-apocalypse culture? Because a lot of us are fans of like Mad Max, which of course makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of post-apocalypse books out there. Fallout has been a huge influence. What kind of got you into the culture?
Very much the Road Warrior, Mad Max 2.
Cool.
That has been my favorite movie since I was a kid. And like I said, I've always loved it. And personally, I've been a welder for 20 years. General fabrication, pipeline, and pressure vessels and stuff. And then I've been machinist now for the last 9. So I've been been building things. Blacksmithing, I do medieval armor. So there's not a whole lot with metal that I can't do. So I've kind of always thought, man, it'd be really cool to build a Mad Max ride. But I can never really justify it to myself. You know, like, okay, what would I do with it? You know, whatever. It'd be cool, but like I said, trying to justify it to myself. And when I found out about Wasteland Weekend, is like, oh, done. Now I have a reason.
Perfect. Yeah.
So did you make that suit of armor behind you?
Yes. With the exception of the helmet.
Cool.
Actually, I made the helmet. Don't get me wrong. That helmet wasn't original to that set.
I see.
But
that's very impressive.
Thank you. That was the set actually I got married in. Built that. We had a medieval wedding.
I love that.
No longer married to that person. It's all good. No, actually, so that one was 20 years ago. This one is the upgrade.
Whoa.
Wow. So
shiny. Yeah. Yep. Shiny and chrome.
Shiny and chrome.
Yeah.
And real quick, if you're listening to this on a podcast player, go switch over to the YouTube because we do have video for this episode. And Travis is showing off his suits of armor in the background.
Very cool.
Cool. All right. So you found your way to Wasteland, decided to make this bug out vehicle. Was that your first Wasteland that you brought Atomic Annie to? Was 2017? Yeah. Like, did this all happen at the same go?
Yeah,
That's so
That's
fun.
impressive.
I found out about it as very early 2016 when I started the build. So getting the build all together and driving out to Wasteland was about a year and a half. And even in 2016 had found out about the Great 40 and had started talking with Bridger and Adept and everybody. And so kind of got pulled in on that. And then 17, actually joining the Great 40, it adds about 400 miles to my trip.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, because you actually have to like go south first, right?
Yeah, I go straight down basically I-25 to Albuquerque and then join up with everybody and head the rest of the way over. On the way back, I kind of come straight back through Vegas and Salt Lake City.
Yeah, because there's not really like a Great 40 for leaving Wasteland, right? It's like the get together is to get there and then just kind of like everyone's on their own.
Well, kind of. Some people do kind of at least keep track of each other on the way back, but a lot of times people are leaving at different times or stopping at
Right, yeah.
seeing the sights and stuff on their way back. So,
Because you got that 11:59 target Tuesday night before the festival for everyone to try to get there at exactly the same time. But when you're leaving, yeah, it would make sense that different camps and different priorities would come into play.
yeah, exactly.
The whole world is like some bad dream you can't wake up from, isn't it? Don't you feel that way too, sister? Now why wouldn't you? The world is a wasteland littered with ghouls and toe cutters. But it doesn't have to be. Instead of a nightmare, wouldn't you like a dream, brother? Well, now you can have it, and in such an easy little package. That's right, I'm talking about Jet, friend. What's Jet? Why, it's a little inhaler that packs a big kick. Boy, does it. Jet will give you such a rush that you'll think you're flying up above the clouds. Maybe even develop the sight and really turn your life around. But only if you get the genuine article, pal. The only authentic Jet around is brewed, packaged, and distributed by the Boneyard Buzzards. Through rigorous testing and the death of only one faction leader, the Buzzards have honed a recipe that's safe for consumption and recreation. So if you want to live a dream, get Jet. And if you get Jet, get Buzzards Jet. Anything else is a trip to an early grave. And that's a fact, Jack.
Jet is a fictional narcotic and is for entertainment purposes only.
So as you know, you listened to our last episode, we were talking about Wasteland Basic. And everyone kind of has their own definition for that for costumes. And I'm curious, what is Wasteland Basic for cars?
So Wasteland Basic for cars is a very limited, and okay, I want to get this out beginning. Anything I say here, I am not knocking anybody's efforts or belittling. You know, if you take the effort, whether it be for 2 hours or 200 hours to make something for Wasteland, hell yeah. Okay, I'm not. If anything, I hope to encourage and help give you ideas to make your stuff better. Some of the Wasteland basic vehicles, I've seen some vehicles that are basic street vehicles, just flat black, or military vehicles. And I'm not knocking. If it's just a standard issue military vehicle, does it fit? Sure. Is it purposefully wastelanded? Most of the time, not.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of those come around where it looked like they just came right off a base and they're just driven straight to Wasteland. And it's like, yeah, I kind of get what you're doing here because, yeah, the military would have a presence in the early apocalypse, but adding some space and time to your vehicle can really help it out.
Right. And, I love military surplus personally because the stuff lasts forever. And vehicles the same. I mean, those things were built to run for 400 years and be maintained by an 18-year-old with a ball-peen hammer. So would they, realistically, would they survive? Yes, of course they would. But I do consider them somewhat Wasteland basic. what? So it's stuff that's like just a flat black vehicle, everything.
And I've definitely seen like some vehicles come out that kind of look like they've just been left in your backyard a couple of years, but they were your daily driver, up until recently. So they're just dirty. And yes, like sometimes that can be the right vehicle to bring if you're making a choice between that and the family minivan. But as far as like sticking out as an art car at Wasteland, you might just need to add a little bit more, right?
Well, and that's kind of part of it is for me, and I don't remember who originally told me this concept. And originally it was for costuming. Is if you were an extra in a Mad Max movie and somebody's watching the movie, would that person back there stand out in the crowd? So you're at a bare minimum, you don't want to stand out. And I take it the same way with vehicles. If your vehicle would stand out in a bad way. Now, if it's just because it's that big and huge and monstrosity, it's going to stand out. Yeah, okay, whatever. But I mean, if you got a like in the car cruise, you've got the Armada, you watch the video of it, and you got all these badass rides and everything, and then you've got somebody over here with just a dirty white Celica. Not that I've actually seen that. I mean, just as an example, it doesn't blend in with the rest of the aesthetic.
We've definitely had people like show up to the car cruise and then get told, sorry, you're not going to be able to join in on this bit, which is, of course, probably really heartbreaking for someone that is proud of their car and just want to be part of it. But, the reason they do that is because that's one of the most photographed and one of the most videoed parts of the event.
Shot.
That's the one that sticks out every time is, the 100+ vehicles all rolling together. And of course you want as many of those to be looking top notch as possible. So yeah, it is something that they've had to do. I think it's been less. I haven't heard so much about it. And usually people that get told, hey, sorry, not this year, take it well. But I know that there were a couple of times people get kind of upset about it, but it's just one of those things. But here we're going to talk about how to make sure that when you show up for the Armada, they're like, they want to put you right up front. So yeah, let's talk about like, what can people start thinking about as far as like, amplifying these vehicles?
So I'm going to go with two different directions with this. One being, let's say, light duty vehicles. And I'm saying light, Wasteland light. Whether you rented a car, this is your daily driver, you still have to have insurance on it, so you can't get too crazy with your vehicle. There's lots of temporary things that you can do with that. Of course, I've seen plenty of. I don't know if I personally saw it, but there's been plenty of stories of somebody renting. I think it was a Dodge Magnum, and doing tempura paint, I think.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about tempura paint.
Of going flat black and flames and dirt and everything, and then hitting the car wash and turning it back into the rental agency. And that's great. To add to that, though, one of the things that really speaks Wasteland to me is breaking up the silhouette of the vehicle. So if you've got this vehicle and you're out running around for 10 years and having to repair it and as best as you can, whatever, you're going to have things or just kind of like wagon stuff hanging off of it. And if this is your home, this is your livelihood. And so stuff like there's foam panels that have like diamond plate tread on them. Paint those up, stick them on, glue some magnets to the back of them, and put them on your car, on the sides of your car or truck. Paint them a little bit different color, get some fake rust on them to break up not just the silhouette, but break up the color scheme. one of the things I've seen, and this again applies to whether it be a light duty or full out wasteland build, is breaking up the color pattern too. I saw one car that was phenomenal build. I mean, it was a really cool ass little car. I mean, you just kind of tell that they weren't maybe really mechanically inclined, but they wanted to build something, and they built it, and it looked great. And I didn't see this at Wasteland, and it was all one color. It was all like a sand tan.
Okay.
And like they literally drove it through a barrel of freaking paint and out the other side. And stuff like that. If you break up the coloring, and now don't run. Annie's mostly flat black, but I've gone through sanded areas down. So you have bare metal, you have rust. There's variations like where I've sanded through the paint. So now you have black paint to blue paint to rust to bare metal, aluminum panels that are on there. So you have a little bit of shiny. So there's all kinds of things that break up the eye when you're looking at something. And it's easy to do. It really doesn't take so much more skill or anything, or just paint panels different colors a little bit. Keep maybe a similar color scheme, but different shades of brown and tans, or rust and not rusty. And by dear God, please do not have anything shiny gloss paint. Is a gloss paint job might survive the Wasteland? Sure. But it defies everybody's expectations of what a Wasteland vehicle should look like. And one of them I saw out there one year was, I don't know, it was like a 40s, 50s black truck, badass truck, but it had, gloss paint. It was lifted and on probably, I don't know, 37s, 42s, whatever. And it was out in the car show, and with the gloss paint. Now, if it would have been flat black and kind of beat up a little bit on color scheme, fabulous. But with the gloss paint, it just it stood out.
That's a really good point that you bring up about like having it all be one color, but then still having like textures and stuff. Because even if you had a car, all right, so just thinking about what happens to a car over time. You get rust, especially around the wheel wells. Doors and fenders start getting scratched. And if we're talking about like, driving through anywhere where the roads are no longer being maintained, your paint's going to start getting scratched by a lot more green life and that kind of thing. It's going to get sun baked. And if we're making these cars last, I mean, the average car lasts, I don't know, 20 years at this point. But if we're talking like now we're into its 40th, 50th, 100th year of being like retrofitted and rejuvenated, it's going to get worn in a lot of places, and we're not going to have a steady supply of fresh, glossy spray paint to cover it up, nor is that going to be a priority. So, when you're talking about like adding all those little bits of texture, that's
exactly
that's important. And it's more than just spray painting it black or taking off the paint and exposing the aluminum for the shiny and chrome Warboy vehicles. There's a lot to it.
No, I see so many people drive their vehicles out and are not mechanically sound for road trips, and it's just anyway.
Oh yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Maybe that can be the next one. But let's go
with that.
So you brought up like breaking up the silhouette and adding a lot of textures. And I know Atomic Annie is you're kind of making not so much like a war rig or like a fast getaway car. You're really making more of like a mobile survival vehicle that can handle a variety of different things. So what kind of like real world survival tech, power, armor, tools did you put onto Atomic Annie that helps to break up that silhouette and just add a little bit more kind of eye candy to the outside of it?
A couple different things. So I kind of envision Annie as an actual, real survival vehicle. Not that I'm like any kind of big prepper or anything like that, but if needed, Annie is 100% functional. Some of the things that I've helped with the aesthetic that are also functional, all the door armor is actually AR 450 plate. So
wait,
not that I plan. Not that I plan on getting shot at, but
right.
it should be good up to small rifle.
Dang.
That's awesome.
So, handgun, small rifle.
It's kind of
a lot of it.
It's kind of a nice thing to know. Like, I know you'll probably never deal with it, but that's a little bit reassuring in a weird way.
A little peace of mind.
Yeah.
As you've talked about, mentioned before, Annie has a mechanical diesel engine, so she can run on filtered and diluted waste motor oil. I could do waste vegetable oil if I needed to. So alternate fuel use. But then everything on there too, I've got as far as aesthetic stuff that makes Annie functional. Or the other way around. Functional stuff that makes Annie aesthetic. Again, the door armor. There's patch plates on stuff that looks just a lot of it's just random scrap sheet metal I've had laying around that, I'm going to put that. This is this big flat area of, just a constant, big flat area. Something to break that up a little bit. So there's a patch panel on there. And I always try to make sure that, again, devil's in the details. So, like my patch panel, it's not perfectly square. It's some random freaking angled, and most of them are all kind of just randomized, purposefully randomized. But everything, let's see, and then just making sure
you've got the
cow
catcher on the front, which is really cool.
Yep. The cow catcher on the front, there's a slight dent in it from a Toyota, I think.
Funny.
Really? Just a little one. When I think it was
tiny
21. Black Thumb was getting like all the vehicles up on top of the two cars that were crushed by Cantankerous that year. So we had like a dozen vehicles up on there. So we put a little ramp, and we got Annie drove up and hit the B or C pillar on one of the cars.
Wow! Did I miss that? I feel like I was there for it, but
yeah, you must have missed it. It was great.
Yeah, nice.
We had the cow catcher's heavy enough. Like I don't brake for deer. I'm not going to slam on my brakes, or not that I want to hit one. I hope I don't, but it's not worth trying to overcorrect and everything.
It's a big truck.
Yeah, it's a big truck.
A lot of mass moving forward.
About 19,000 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, and she with go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's like it's heavier than a G-Wagon. Do you need a special license after a certain weight?
26,000 is the cutoff for needing a
so you
CDL.
got some room. You got some room.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep. And with the latest upgrades, she'll do 70, 75 real solid. If I'm not fighting a tailwind or anything, or a headwind, I can do 75, 80. So
that's crazy.
Very cool.
And stuff
I'm looking at a few of the other things
gun.
that really break up. Oh, the spear gun up on top with like almost a turret, right?
Yeah, it's a little gunner's hatch. The spear gun is 100% functional. It's not a harpoon.
Very cool.
But it has a 600-pound draw weight on it. So when you crank it back, the cables are pulling 600 pounds.
Whoa!
And I've got a dummy arrowhead up there that I drive around with. But when I've taken out and shot it, it'll go through a steel drum at about 20 yards.
Wow.
So
Okay.
everything is functional.
Cool. That's cool.
That's really cool.
And how accurate is is the arrow that it fires?
Not that great. And it's heavy, so the
good enough for a steel barrel.
It kind of
general direction.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to shoot anything past 20 yards with it.
Okay.
That's probably good.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend people balance, functionality with aesthetics? Because I know you're talking a bit about like making sure it's like, making sure it's something practical that you can also like drive out to the event. You don't have to tow it kind of thing.
Well, and that's fine if you do tow it. Just realize that's where your vehicle is. Realizing as far as, is your vehicle reliable enough? Are you worried about it being street legal? When they made Fifi Fury, which amazing build, there ain't no way in hell that thing's street legal. They didn't have that intention when they built it. Right. So, or I don't believe so. I mean, I haven't personally talked with them. It's the really big, heavy Fury? Armored. It hasn't been out in, I don't think it's been out the last 2 years I've been out there. Gotcha. It's got the big dualies on the back, 2 gunner's hatches on the side. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's got the center driver position and.
Yeah, that sounds challenging to make street legal.
And it's interesting because this event is taking place in California. So, like, California's got some of the strictest road rules of the country versus, if you're coming out of Texas, do you even need a muffler in Texas? I don't know. They're wild down there.
Well, thankfully, Wyoming's very similar, but yes, we do have to have mufflers on them. But we don't have inspections or anything, so that's kind of nice. But if you're making it practical, I kind of practical first in my mind. Make it work, make it functional, because it doesn't matter how good it looks if it doesn't run, if it doesn't do what it's supposed to, it's kind of pointless.
Right.
But try to figure out function. If you're if you're a heavy builder, you're building something from scratch, or you're incorporating 3 or 4 different vehicles or whatever. Yeah, make sure everything's solid. Make sure it's not scabbed together safety wise. That because I've seen stuff out there that when there's 20 people piled on the back of this thing, and that's awesome. And the back tires are rubbing inside the fenders and stuff, and just kind of looking at it like waiting for those leaf springs to break. Keep your intended purpose in mind. Make sure it's safe and functional, and then from there, if you can make it functional and decorative at the same time. And actually, even George Miller has talked about that in some of the after clips of the movies. Is, yes, let's make it big. Let's make it showy. The polished war rig in Furiosa, showing that presence of, was all that work necessary? No. Is it structurally sound and everything's that can fall apart? No. But let's make it look cool. Kind of idea.
Yeah. And I feel like, you can always add changes to the silhouette later, I feel like.
Yes.
You can always add more decoration, and I don't know much about cars, but I do know magnets are great. I know the Junker, he's got all those spikes, which are super not street legal. And so he has these really strong magnets and he just pops them on the back of the car. You can add stuff when you're at the event.
Yep. Actually, oddly enough, if those were permanently attached in the location that they're at, I believe actually they would be legal. But yes, that's what I was talking about with the diamond plate foam panels that you can get, magneting those on the sides or your hood, even magneting on a fake hood scoop. And one of the things with is breaking up, and again, coming back to texture. One of the things I've done on Annie is a lot of the base coats for my paints was rhino lining. Well, bed liner, just the generic stuff. So that
Like the spray on?
Just rattle can it on, but it gives it texture instead of being this nice, smooth steel surface or aluminum, whatever, plastic. You have this just texture, and then you can go back and paint over it and do whatever. But it takes your base coat and gives it texture, breaks that up.
Yeah, because it almost looks like you're
that.
spray painting over like old rust, right? Which could have a really nice look to it.
It gives it texture. So it's whether it be rusted or patina or just dirt. It says it's not, and when you look at it, it says not new. Not fresh. That this is aged. It's been around a while.
It has history.
Right.
Yeah. And along with those lines, you can. Do you do a lot of storytelling in your build with Annie? Like, does Annie have a history? Was she in this battle and that's why she's got these scars that you had to repair? Does she have like the extra plating on the door because you got shot once and it got in your leg? And, is there a little bit of like storytelling that you can add to these vehicles that can make them look a little bit more dynamic?
You very much can. I personally don't. That's not one of my attractions for Wasteland. It's, I love it. Don't get me wrong when people do. But it's just not my spiel.
When I look at Atomic Annie, it looks like this truck has been places. And, even though you're not like actually writing a story about it, it does have like a storied look to it. Like
it's conveying one.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted it to look like. So, objective achieved. I've just never gotten around to actually putting story to
like
anything.
Writing it up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, kind of my general thoughts for it, and coming back to like something that Bridger was mentioning, of having a purpose for your costume. Were you a mechanic? Are you a gun runner? And the same applies to vehicles. Of looking at the purpose for your vehicle. Is it a scout truck? Is it a high-speed interceptor? Is it... and like one of the things with Annie, where it's completely livable, I've always kind of envisioned Annie as a like long-range survey, long-range scout, where you're going to be out for a month at a time, maybe come back with, make some new maps and figure out who's who and where's where and report back to whoever. So that can kind of help focus what your build would look like and what you would have on your vehicle.
And remind me, are you a member of a tribe?
Yeah. Well, the Great 40 is not officially a tribe, but I've been with the Great 40 migration since 2017, and I am also Black Thumb.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. Because, both of those tribes, like you've got the Great 40 that would be more of like a tribe, if it was a tribe, that spends all of its time on the highway, maybe trying to avoid raiders, that kind of thing, but need vehicles that have a long range and can be lived in, versus Black Thumb, which is a little bit more of like a mechanic vibe, always tinkering, always trying to make things a little bit better. And your matte black fits in really well there. I think there is definitely something to say that when you have a tribe, that tribe can have, a backstory that you can kind of play with as well.
Oh, most definitely. The road tripping with Great 40, this kind of the entire migration has definitely kind of played into that very well.
Yeah, I could see how Annie fits in quite well with both of those groups.
The Love Bombs provide top-notch outcomes for the most discriminating clients all across the Wasteland. When you need executive escort and protection, intelligence analysis, direct action, or other specialized solutions, the Love Bombs provide a bespoke option tailored directly to your needs. Listen to this heartfelt testimonial from one of the Love Bomb's satisfied clients.
I heard the Love Bombs had saved my precious Pookie Pie from them there scabs over yonder. They was fixing to turn his poor hide into jerky. Woo! Whew! I reckon not a one of those bastards will walk away from this scuffle.
Because it's on the body part.
Goodness gracious, I reckon I ain't ever seen a gun that big. The Love Bombs will give your enemies a licking they won't soon forget.
Yes, the Love Bombs. They're polite, professional, and have a plan to kill everyone they meet. The Love Bombs provide complete confidentiality in their free initial consultation. That's right, the initial consultation is absolutely free. Remember, the Love Bombs. Artillery available.
All right, so if someone was going to get started on their very first like Wasteland or Mad Max vehicle, first off, what should they know going in? And second, like what would be your like kind of first thing that you should be thinking about as you start going into this gigantic project that's probably going to take you years?
Well, no, that's a very good point. Is one of the things I learned the hard way. Now, I love how Annie came out. Don't get me wrong. From my initial intent of what I wanted to build Annie into, highway speeds is especially the big thing. I'm on my, if you include the original motor, she's on her third motor, fourth transmission.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
What, really?
Now all of these, oh yeah. All of these have been upgrades. Now, not counting the original. The original motor I did get running, but it was kind of junk. And the same thing with the original transmission. Because I picked a vehicle. Oh, this is free. I want to build and I see this multiple times, and I get it. I was there. I have this free vehicle that I can wasteland this. Great. Still make sure it fits your purpose, because at the time I didn't realize that a 1972 farm truck is lucky if it's hitting 50 miles an hour.
That makes sense.
Because in 1972 you have 55 mile an hour speed limits, and heavy truck at the time wasn't worried about even making the speed limit, so 45, 50 was very common for its top speed.
Wow.
So that's one of the things, like realizing your purpose. If you want to make something, and because of that, I've had to upgrade engines because I still wanted highway speeds, because 21,000 miles of highway use. And I'm not doing that stuff at 50 miles an hour.
Fair.
Right.
So, if you want a scout truck or something, and you're starting with a little 2-wheel drive Ford Ranger, can you make it work? Yes. If you're planning on, okay, I got to put in a 4-wheel drive front axle, I got to put a better rear axle in it, now I got to motor swap it, when maybe a little bit more money in the beginning, and you just buy the vehicle that you're intending to use anyway. Actually buying a 2-wheel or 4-wheel drive truck where you can worry about more of the aesthetic stuff and not have to completely rebuild the truck every so often because it's just not working for you. Farlanders actually is a good example of this. They had they came out in 16, the year before I came out, with I can't remember the year, but I want to say it's late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, the pickup truck.
Chevy pickup. And then they tried bringing it out in 17, and I don't even think they got out of Tennessee with it. And then they were trying to bring it back out another year, and something else broke. So, I mean, is it an awesome truck? Yeah. Is it something that isn't a... now, if you can build it, now, if you're a mechanic and you're like, man, I can make this truck cross-country worthy. Cool.
Yeah, I can fix it.
Realize that at the beginning. But if you're not a big mechanic and you want to drive this thing cross-country, pick something, start with something that's a little bit closer to your goal. And that way, like I said, and you'll save time, work, money, where you can then worry about more of the cosmetic things or dressing it up, getting a gun rack on the top and a cow catcher grill guard on it and stuff like that. And that's like if I started Annie today, I would totally take a bus chassis, drop a pickup on cab on the front of it, and be ready to rock and roll.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we've all got to play to our strengths a little bit because we're not all like metal manufacturers, and so yeah, you're right. Like starting from a point where we're not necessarily switching engines and transmissions or trying to add anything onto it.
Yes, 100% play to your strengths, and like I said, keep in mind you might be out a little bit more money in the beginning, but just because it's a free vehicle or whatever doesn't make it suitable for what you want it to be. So
that might end up saving you money in the long run to spend more money up front.
Exactly. Very much so. I've run into that one on Annie. But yeah.
And I know you said you recently upgraded Annie. Do you have any future builds or upgrades you want to do with her?
Most of this mechanically, I'm finally very, very happy with Annie. As far as my power levels, I upgraded, was it last spring, upgraded the turbo, the injection pump, added an intercooler, some brake rebuilds, and now she's pushing, which, I mean, this probably doesn't sound like a whole lot, but she's pushing probably around 250 horsepower at about 850 foot-pounds of torque.
That's pretty good. That sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds like a lot of torque.
And then you put a 13-speed transmission behind it, and she works out real well. So cool. She at this point she drives like an 80s semi, basically.
Wow.
Goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But so mechanically I'm finally pretty happy with it. I'm doing some comfort items. I need to redo the water tank because my last one cracked. Actually, I'm pretty sure it cracked on the washboard going out to Wasteland once you got off pavement. I think that washboard finally cracked my aluminum tank.
Yeah, that's the great equalizer there. Old cars, new cars, Wasteland cars, all alike will fail on that road.
Yeah. Finally got a...
Pretty sure that's what got my camper.
I could do it. It had an ice box in it, so I've actually pulled that. And now I've got a little propane refrigerator in it.
Nice.
So aesthetic and comfort living kind of items now at this point mostly. And I've got actually another little pickup that I'm going to be kind of getting back on the build on it for a little kind of tow behind scout truck.
Oh, so you're going to bring a second vehicle?
Well, I have actually already. The last 3 trips I've made out, I have a little F-150 that I've kind of wastelanded out and I intended as a kind of a scout truck. It's a little 89 F-150. It's named Tagalong Tessie because it gets towed behind Annie.
Cute. Nice. I love that.
And it's desert camouflage because it's like, okay, scouting out in the desert. And this is definitely part where realism does not so much fit in with the Mad Max genre. Because this truck, desert camouflage, it would be great for a scout truck out in the desert. You look at it, though, like if I take it to a car show or, I just drive it around town, because actually I do, it's totally daily driver. It looks like Bob's hunting truck. It doesn't.
Oh yeah,
It does. I mean, it doesn't look Mad Max. Now, at the event, does it stick out? Not really. So it kind of crosses over, but it doesn't really sit. And you look at it and you're like, "Yep, that's Bob's hunting truck." So, so I'm building its replacement already.
Gotcha.
Because
very nice.
Who doesn't need to build another vehicle?
Yeah, we need more vehicles.
What's this next one going to be?
Actually, I'm starting with a 76 F-250 pickup. I've been a fan of them since I was a kid. Used to have one. Kicked myself in the ass for selling it. So it's going to be a little bit more Mad Max inspired.
That is a very cute truck. I love that. I want one. I just Googled it.
Okay. Fair. I was gonna say, I don't. Once the other one gets done, Tessie's gonna be going up on the chopping block and selling it.
No. R.I.P.
I only have so much parking at my house, so I have to prioritize.
Yeah,
I have to
they do take up a lot of
prioritize.
space.
Yep.
Yeah, and I imagine you're not part of like a neighborhood association or anything like that. No one's have you gotten like knocks on your door? But like, excuse me,
no.
That thing.
Actually, I get people occasionally that will knock on my door. Oh, that thing is so cool. What is it?
That's nice.
Oh yeah, I get people. So it sits in my driveway. I'm in town, not a HOA, just a little ranch style home in a 2-car attached garage is my shop. And I'll have the garage door open working on stuff, and I have random people stop and kind of sometimes they just slow down and look like, what the hell? But yeah, random people will stop and what's kind of funny is even like the either the Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses or whoever will sometimes, once I'm like, okay, I'm not interested, guys. And they'll be like, okay, that's fine. What about that truck?
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So it's like, I get to lecture them. Ha-ha. Oh, no.
That's fun.
So
that's awesome.
And I take it to car shows and stuff all the time too. I kind of, one of the parts is like, I want to make sure that at least my neighborhood or community, because I'm in a little 2,500 person town. I'm not the freaking nut job that you want to keep your kids away from or whatever they think when they see that truck. At car shows, it's one of I let kids climb in it and everything. So,
I bet they love that.
Oh, absolutely. When they the other stuff, can't touch, don't touch. Which don't get me wrong,
right.
When you got $20,000 in a paint job, you don't want some kid scratching it.
Fair,
but so when they like, when I tell them, it's like, yeah, you can go on up inside. They're like, oh, really? Like, hell yeah! I'm not worried about them scratching it.
That's awesome. Heck yeah! You just gotta watch out. You get your tetanus shot, kid.
Right? And actually, I'd say that to anybody with a Wasteland vehicle. Take it to the car shows. People freaking love them, and not just because. I mean, I've been to car shows where other people, because you go to car shows, generally it's kind of the same old stuff. I don't want to say same old stuff, but a lot of the same types of vehicles.
Yes, the same muscle cars.
Still cool.
They're great. Yeah. They're cool. But then when you see a kid come over and you're like, "Yeah, I built this," and they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
you can build one." Hell yeah. I get awesome. Kids ask me like, "Where did you buy this?" It's like, "No, I built it," and they're like,
"I made it." Yeah,
yeah. And they're like,
so cool.
"Oh, I didn't." You can do that? I'm like, yeah.
Also, there's nothing better than seeing like a photo of a car show and like my friend Lead Cloud of the Autumn Pact just built like a sand rail that they brought to a car show, and it's just like all these like pristine old buggies and then the sand rail, and it's just so funny. It's always so funny to see. I love it.
One of my favorites was I was parked at a car show, and the next, I think, 4 slots of cars were all like couple-year-old Corvettes. And so you got here's this Annie, and then all these Corvettes.
Yeah.
And everybody walked right past all those Corvettes and came to check out my.
That's right.
So yeah, there's kind of that he.
Yeah, you're gonna stand out for sure.
Now I know that there's hot rods, rat rods, and then there's even like rust rods. Do Wasteland vehicles fall into that rust rod, or would you qualify it as like something totally different?
So actually, rust rod is a new one on me. Most of the time, it's just rat rods. And Annie, it kind of depends on the car show. I mean, Annie's gotten thrown in with military vehicles, rat rod quite often. And what's funny is, and I've seen rat rods at car shows or at Wasteland Weekend. And I'm not saying they don't fit in, because they do. But even a rat rod build, the aesthetic versus Mad Max, they are different. Can they cross over? Very much so. But that doesn't mean that all rust rods, now you got me saying it, rat rods are, Mad Max worthy, or,
Totally.
even that Mad Max vehicle, because I kind of don't really fit much in a rat rod either. But a lot of times that's kind of where I get grouped, because it's kind of the closest thing.
Yeah, I'm sure they're like, we don't know where to put this big, beautiful truck.
Yeah.
We don't know where to put it. What category is it? It's its own category.
And it looks like, just doing a quick Google search for like rat rods and rust rods, it looks like a lot of it is like early 1900s stuff as far as body style. And so it very much places you into a mood, right?
Yeah. See, rat rods are generally between the 20s and 1940, maybe even 1950 builds, or cabs. Yeah. And usually, now you get some oddball builds that are still rat rods, which are great. But rat rod, have fallen into a very much a pattern of this low riding chassis with a small, narrow cab from pre-50s. Maybe a little pickup bed. Sometimes it's a coupe, but usually a little pickup bed with some little air tank or a keg for a fuel tank and everything. Big exposed motor and radiator. And they're cool as hell. I dig them. But it's I like more of the oddball stuff. Look at Annie. Cool. I like to see the originality. Have your own idea of what you want to build, or how you want to decorate it, whatever. Have your own vision for what you want to do, instead of trying to copy somebody else's build.
Cool.
Or even that mentality.
Yeah. And then definitely come to Wasteland, or come to one of the other regional Wasteland events in the United States, and see what other people are doing, get inspired. And don't forget, this is something I forgot for a minute, was your vehicle doesn't have to be ginormous. I got a pocket bike, and a quick spray paint of rust, and I suddenly have some powered wheels to get around in, and it's awesome.
Oh, definitely. Actually, we had just picked up some mini bikes last summer, earlier this summer, to putz around with. And what's funny on mine, I kind of have a little bit of writer's block, builder's block on it. I've got it like the cargo rack on it. There's a little fuel can on it, little ammo can on it. But as far as decking it out for Wasteland, I don't have a vision for it yet. I'm kind of kind of stumped on that one a little bit. But yeah,
maybe after this Wasteland, it will come to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're building something, build it within your means. Whether it be a mini bike, a scooter, a motorized coffin. That was cool.
We have seen those.
An armchair with wheels on it.
Motorized shopping cart. Whatever is within your skill level. And honestly, if right here is your skill level that you're confident in, plan here. Okay, push yourself and learn. I mean, that's kind of learn as you go. Google can be very much your friend. Annie is my first diesel truck. It's my first big vehicle that I've personally owned. So push yourself, push your limits, and learn something new with it. Because for me, that's half the fun. Try something new.
I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what it's all about is just like with the costumes when we were talking to the Farlanders, where they came out of historical reenactment and having very, very rigid specifications for what they were supposed to do as far as being historically correct and getting the right buttons and the right seams and the right. Yeah. There are no rules for a Wasteland vehicle. You can really experiment and write your own story and kind of get a little wacky with it. There's a vehicle that drives around Wasteland that's the entire body is street signs, and it's really cool. It's just a little oddball.
The
like
Panzer. It's the little Panzer tank, and I can't think. It's like Panzer something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, but it's super cool and obviously a lot of fun to see around. It's an oddball shape. It's got a tiny wheelbase. Really fun. And then a few years ago, there was what was basically an airplane fuselage on top of a monster truck chassis of some kind. And it's just really cool. Like it won that year, I think. Really rad vehicles.
That one won the car show in I think it was 16. Because when I was at the car show in 17, they had it up front.
Okay.
Cool.
But yeah,
because usually once you win once, they're like, okay, now you're going to sit back and I think usually the winner judges next year. Have you been a judge?
Have I been a judge? No. Trying to think. No, it's 23 that Annie won best in show, I think, or best at the car show.
Nice.
But then you weren't there last year, right? In 24.
No, but I was there in 24. Wait, no.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, 24.
It's tough to keep track. Oh, because you've been doing like every other year, right?
23 and 24. Yeah, generally I do about every other year. But I did 23 and 24 back to back. With just the cost of the trip and time off and stuff. I kind of try to average every other year.
Gotcha. Yeah, I totally get that.
There's only... I want to add, I will add that I think there is one rule for Wasteland Build that I kind of take as a hard rule. And that's the one I mentioned earlier, is if it would stand out in a Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
Because if it stands out, then you're detracting from the entire aesthetic and the immersion of the event. Is my thoughts. And then at that point, if you're detracting from the immersion, are you taking away somebody else's fun?
It's kind of funny because in Mad Max, the Road Warrior, there's actually a pink car in
like a 57
that's part of
Caddy,
Humongous's. Yeah. And it sticks out. It's kind of sore thumbing in the movie. And I know that at some point Wasteland had a discussion about like, would we ever allow this pink car? And it was like, well, it's in the movie. So technically, yes, but like,
I want a pink car now.
But
that's my new goal.
It's like, you still need to make sure that pink is really, wasted so that it doesn't look too bright. Basically.
Well, and I was under the impression that they actually said that no, they wouldn't allow a pink car.
Oh, really? I bet just like blue jeans, you know how we have this general rule in costume, don't use blue jeans because, first off, they're every day and it's really hard to make them look really post-apocalyptic. However, people have done it and they've done it well. But I bet you could probably get away with a pink car if you wasted it enough and you like desaturated it and, had enough accoutrement to go with it.
It's on that note, it's over in England, I think. It's over in Europe. There's a Hello Kitty, I think it's a VW Bug, that's wasted. And like it looks great. I mean, how they did it.
Oh my gosh, my dream.
It's freaking phenomenal. How they did it was awesome. Top notch. And like that one, for me, like I said, I think it's top notch. It would not detract from the immersion at all.
That's awesome.
So but that's a very good point. Just like with costuming and everything else. And I found this in a vault, whatever, is realistic apocalypse survival versus Wasteland Weekend apocalypse survival. Only, let's say, 80% overlap. There's, just because it would happen in real life doesn't make it appropriate for Wasteland.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
this Hello Kitty car is now my dream Wasteland car / daily driver.
You should totally Google it. It should pop up.
I did, and I'm obsessed with it, and it's going to be my whole personality from now on.
Done super cool, ain't it?
It's very cool. I love the little like rusted window hatch and the top
Winks,
of it
you're
is
going to be
crazy.
Winks, you're going to be in charge of the thumbnail again, and you should troll everybody by putting that car in our thumbnail.
You might try to find who owns that one first, but yeah.
It's very, very cool, though. I'm obsessed.
I love it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. We're kind of rambling on here. Okay.
All right. So yeah, we're starting to wind down, but Shepurd, you, like most Wastelanders, have found a way to embrace all this post-apocalyptic creativity, not only for these festivals, but a heck of a lot in your own life. I mean, you've probably going to be the most famous guy in your block because of these vehicles being out front. What could you kind of wax poetic a little bit about what it means to think about things from a post-apocalyptic perspective, and embracing that creativity in our world the way it is today?
Okay. No pressure.
No pressure at all. I know. I saved the big question for last. I guess what I'm really trying to say is, what does it offer any kind of relief, or like, I don't know.
Freedom.
I know what my answer is, but
okay, bear with me here. Yes, 100%. Yeah. And one of the things, one of the approaches that I love about it is, and whether costuming, it all comes, if you like building your camp, performing, whatever your deal is. So for me, I've done a couple restoration on vehicles, and I had a 70 Opel GT that I was rebuilding. Loved it. Was not friendly for large people. It was a very small little car. Looked like a miniature Corvette. And then had a 76 Highboy that I rebuilt and got it running, and ended up having to sell it too. And when I go to these car shows and see all these other vehicles, that person is recreating or updating what somebody else made. They are taking a 67 Chevelle and they're restoring it to what it just came off the showroom floor. And maybe they put different gauges in it, different seats, different wheels, whatever. But generally speaking, you're restoring what somebody else did. And when I started Annie, and one of the passions that drives me about it, and my other builds too, is they are 100% clean slates. I can do anything to that vehicle I want. So if I want to put chains around this, no reason not to. Okay, is it a safety hazard? Is it structurally sound? Whatever.
Sure.
But it's a clean slate creatively to do whatever I want. Do I want to put a 50 caliber machine gun up here? Oh, that'd be cool. Do I want to put a functioning spear gun up there? That's even cooler.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, well, hell. And part of it is inspired. So the car cab, the War Rig and Fury Road, the back where the wives are always sitting is another car cab on the back of that truck. Now, they didn't flip it around. Well, no, they didn't flip it around. But, that's kind of part of what my inspiration was like, hey, let's put a car cab on the back of a truck because cool. And I sketched out stuff, and I took printed off pictures and scaled them to like the wheelbase was 1 foot equals 1 inch or whatever, and then I traced them out with permanent marker, copied it onto a clean piece of paper, cut those out, tape it onto another one that was a permanent marker, photocopy both those together, and just working to get a sketch of what I wanted Annie to be. And looking back, I still have that sketch especially on the build board for Annie, is what it started at, or what the intent was, and then what the finished product is, and it's pretty close, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
But that's the creative release that I love about it.
Yeah.
And even mechanically, so it's like, okay, what motor do I want to put in this? What transmission in it?
Right.
Here, let's
There's
see
no
if we.
rules. You can just.
Oh, yeah. The motor that's in Annie now, I had to cut a hole in the firewall. It's a straight 6, so 6 cylinders in a row. Cylinders 5 and 6, the last 2 are actually sitting inside the cab behind the firewall.
Wow.
Yeah, it's okay. Can we shoehorn this and that and make that work? And hey, let's put a propane tank over here, and we better put some armor on that too. And what the complete creative freedom to do whatever the hell I want on it.
Yeah,
is
that's
100%.
Cool. I like that a lot.
What really drives me on it. And that, like I said, can apply to costumes, your performancing,
totally.
However, whatever draws you or whatever your skills lie to in, like, a Wasteland aspect, work at you.
Yeah. I like that. And when it comes down to it at Wasteland, I said this all the way back in the first We Are Wastelanders video, but it's a place where you can be who you are or who you would be, and where we get to break down society's rules. And if you want to go out there and be a performer, do that. If you want to be a builder, do that. You can be your chosen self, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can be.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about the social expectations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
And with that, we've got a good place to wrap things up. So thank you so much, Shepurd, for coming on and helping us to amplify our vehicles. I'm definitely inspired. I realized during this conversation that my mini bike is absolutely Wasteland basic when it comes to vehicles. So I'm going to see if I can do a little bit of work before the event starts this year. And I'm sorry I won't get to see you at the festival this year. You'll be missed, but I'm sure we'll see you next year.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed. And especially when I see everybody's pictures and stuff, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the FOMO kicks in.
The FOMO, yeah, for sure. Next year.
Awesome.
We'll see you next year.
Definitely.
And thanks again, Winks, for co-hosting once more. I can't wait to see you hanging out the side of a vehicle at Wasteland.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For all you out there, make sure you are subscribed wherever you're listening. Leave a thumbs up or a comment if you can. And if you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a friend. But if you hated today's episode, share it with an enemy and stab them with something sharp just to break their silhouette.
No, make it make it a spoon. It'll hurt more.
All right, survivors, until next time, stay alive.
And